Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about 2 keys for crisp contact with your wedges. Hey guys, I want to talk to you quick here about CogornoGolf.com. Now, for most of you that hopefully know, we have CogornoGolf.com as our online community, our membership site full of golfers like yourself and myself looking to improve. Now, a lot of you guys ask, where can I send my swing videos in? And this is where you can do so. It's how I can help you over the winter months improve your game. As a member of Cogorno Golf, you get access to our Facebook group where you can post your swing videos up, get feedback from myself and the coaches at CogornoGolf.com, help you identify main priorities, what you're supposed to work on, drills to do, etc. You also get access to everything, including everything on the site, the practice section, the quick fix section, as well as all of our master classes. So guys, check out Cogorno Golf if you haven't already. I would love to help you over the winter months, and that's where we can do so. Thank you. All right guys, in today's video, we're gonna talk about 2 keys for crisp contact with your wedges. Now, we have a special treat for you guys. As you can see, we're not at the Bethlehem Golf Club. We're actually at the beautiful WESTIN Savannah Harbor Resort, and we are with Mr. Andrew Rice. Now, I know most of you, I hope almost all of you know who Andrew Rice is, but for those of you who don't, Andrew Rice is a top 50, number 25 Golf Digest teacher. He is the #1 ranked teacher in the state of Georgia. Some say he's the best looking guy in Savannah. You can judge for yourself, but in a moment, we're gonna have him come in here. He is an expert on all things golf, especially wedges, so I'm super excited for you guys to be able to see and listen to myself and Andrew talk a little bit about wedges. So without any further ado, let's get started. All right guys, so let's talk about these 2 keys for crisp wedge contact. Obviously, Mr. Andrew Rice to my right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, my
friend.
friend.
Man.
And so today we're going to talk about a bunch of things, but in this video in particular, 2 keys for crisp wedge contact.
Exactly. And so many of the people that you work with and so many of the people that I teach, I see way too many golfers, Eric, as they're making this pitching motion, they're really striving to stay down.
Yeah.
And I think that gets us bound up. It reduces rotation through the hit. It almost forces our arms. We start to lose some of the angle, some of that extension in our arms, and now the strike becomes a problem. And you know this, if you're struggling with your wedges, you're primarily struggling with the quality of contact. And that's why I love the title of this video, 2 keys for crisp contact.
I love it. And so we talked a little bit beforehand, and we want to chat about some of the ideas that you presented on wedges, which we'll dive into. And I really love these 2. So maybe if I take my setup and we'll kind of switch spots.
Go ahead. Yeah, we're going to put you on the hot plate here.
Yeah, we'll see what I'm made
of. A couple of these.
And so, you know, the first thing you just mentioned there that we hear all the time with wedges is if someone wants to improve their wedge shots, right? Step 1 is contact.
For sure.
Contact number 1.
Name of the game.
And so we both see that issue you just mentioned, which we'll get to, but I think what's interesting is how the body works and really how the upper body works during the backswing.
Sure,
right?
Sure. So go ahead and take your setup there for me, Eric. And I would love for everybody to really hone in on this little BB on the top of your hat. Yep. Okay. And what I would like to see is a little bit of a counterbalancing. As the arms go back, I would love to see this BB just slide a little forward as you go back there. Very slightly. We're not talking about a major reverse weight shift here. Okay, but just a little hint. What we're trying to avoid is we're trying to avoid your head moving away from the target.
Gotcha.
Okay, because as soon as a golfer gets their head away from the target, now the golfer's propensity to get that club stuck in the ground, which means we can either hit it fat or pull the arms up and hit it thin.
Got it.
Now the strike becomes a challenge. And so we're going to try to counterbalance, rock that head just a little forward in the backswing.
So one of the interesting points, I think, within some of the videos that you were sharing, that, you know, if a golfer wasn't looking closely at a good wedge player, I do not think they would pick up, right?
Yeah. It's very subtle.
It is.
It's very subtle.
But if you do the kind of circle around the head, right, and they make a backswing, what you see those really good players do is what you just said. There's actually a little bit of a motion towards the target.
Correct.
Now, as I'm doing that, let's say if I'm going to hit some shots, I'm going to apply that, and I want to start to maybe implement this into that. certainly what we're looking for with a play with wedges to avoid is any sort of excessive movement off the ball.
Correct.
Which is probably half the point.
That's a no-fly zone. Really,
Right,
you want to try to avoid that.
I like that, no-fly zone. So we're certainly not going off of it. Reasonably centered would be okay.
Yep.
And then having a little bit of a motion actually towards it would be beneficial.
I believe so.
Yeah.
That's my experience, Eric, is if I can get people just almost rocking forward, counterbalancing a little better, now they're in a position to make the appropriate downswing, where we can get to piece number two, and really start to get the club gliding along the ground. Almost like, ideally what we're going to look for is the sole of this club to land like a plane would land on the runway. Okay.
Perfect.
And a great way for us to do that is get these two pieces in place so that the club can glide along the runway underneath the golf ball. And now we're going to start to get that predictable, consistent strike that we're looking
contact. All right, Andrew, so let's start hitting a couple with this piece number one. So why don't I hit a couple wedge shots, maybe just to this first blue flag out here?
Sure, let's see it.
And so I'll do my normal motion. Now, it's interesting as I hit some warm-up shots here, and I don't know if it's because we're talking about it now here too, but I feel myself doing a little bit of that counterbalance, really initially even as I'm going. So I'm feeling myself a little bit forward. And so let me do one or two, and let's hit one or two here and see how we do. And then we'll start working. So a little bit of a forward towards the target motion.
That was good.
And so as I'm working that in there, and you see good wedge players, this little motion towards the target, something that gets initiated basically right away? Is it a little later?
Right away. It's primarily because the arms are traveling back. And with the arms traveling back, if we don't stop it from happening, if we just allow it to happen, the upper body is just going to counter that as we maintain equilibrium. The upper body is just going to counter that by going forward in a subtle fashion.
You're right, nothing exaggerated.
Yeah.
Now, if I am a golfer who, let's say I recognize, I use a mirror, I film myself, and I say, okay, wait a minute, I am moving off the ball. Even if I don't feel like I am moving off the ball. For that golfer to stay centered or counterbalance, potentially they might have a couple feels to create that.
Sure. A couple of options might be, number one, intentionally trying to shift the top of your head, the BB on your cap, intentionally trying to shift that towards the target. Option number two might be, as the arms and the club go back, you're going to feel an increase in the pressure of your lead foot.
Got it.
And so feel a little bit more of that pressure. Option number three, quite simply, might be arms back, head forward. Arms back, head forward. That counterbalancing again. And so those three feels can really help you start to get the body pivot, that counterbalancing, to work in favor, where you can start to now, okay, because I did one, two becomes that much easier.
I love that. All right, so let's go through some of these feels here. I'm going to hit some out towards this blue here again, and
just some
little ones.
Even if you don't reach there, Eric, that's fine. Just some little ones. Let's get a feel here.
And so I'm feeling a little bit of the top of the head working forward is going to be my feel number one.
Okay.
And as I'm going through and doing that, you know, that feels pretty normal. That feels pretty normal for me.
And a little more ground than we wanted there. I think you would agree. Okay. The strike was okay. You got the ball first. Okay. But this is real, isn't it? This is what people struggle with. This is what people deal with out on the golf course, and that's why I think it's so important for you and I to speak a language that people can understand, and to make videos that are real and that people can understand.
Not perfect shots.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fakery.
Absolutely. So a little bit of the top of the head working forward now. I do feel a little bit of a pressure increase on my left foot as I'm working. If I were to describe that based on my feels, my setup feels maybe 55-45.
Okay.
I feel a little more left. I feel like I might be going to 60.
Okay. So just subtle, eh?
Yeah,
subtle.
Not a lot. A little bit of a forward motion as I'm being back. I'll go to that same target one more time. So head forward a little bit would be potentially a little bit of pressure into my lead foot as I were to work back. That was a little better.
Yeah, I like
a little
that
less pivot.
I like
Yeah,
it.
okay.
It was a little less divot. Sounded
Okay.
better.
Come on,
and this
come
is where,
on, man.
Come on, we got to start to introduce point number 2 here, Eric.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I believe that when we do 1 properly, that leads directly into 2, and 2 is really, let's lay it on the table for people.
Yep.
2 is on the way through. I would love to see golfers elevating. I would love to see them from when the club head starts down, the BB on their hat has got to be going up.
Let's switch spots for a
Okay.
second, because you do that so good. I'd love for people to be able to see that from that face-on portion.
And so it's rock up.
Yeah.
Okay. And as the club head starts from here and it starts down to the golf ball,
Yep.
I would love to feel, and I'd love to see my students demonstrate that sense of a little forward and taller. Okay,
Love
and
it.
that ties into when I get taller, but the ball position, it's not coming up or down with me, it's
Right.
staying right there on the ground hopefully. But as I get taller, I'm now incentivized to keep that radius, that length, that extension in my arms. And now, like I said, my arms can't get longer than long.
That's perfect.
And so now I can brush the ground far more consistently.
Love it.
Okay, and that's really what people are after is 2 keys for consistent contact, crisp contact. And how are we going to do that? Rock forward, just a little counterbalance, a little increase for you. That seemed to be the better feel.
Yeah.
That pressure increase in the lead foot. But the key, the whole deal comes together when we incorporate 2 in there, and that's, you know, what's really happening. My head is not staying down. I'm not staying looking at the golf ball, because when my head stays down, it makes it difficult for me to keep my chest rotating. So there's quite a lot of chest and upper body rotation. My head, the BB on my hat, is moving away from the ground, so I'm getting taller as I rotate and open my body up. My spine is even getting a little bit of that extension, so my chest is almost looking up towards the sky. And so an exaggerated image for people to see is forwards and up. Exaggerated, forwards and up. That's almost what I would like for people to feel, not necessarily look like.
Yeah.
Okay, come on now.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on now, we got to get this.
Yeah.
We got to get this.
And so as I'm working in there, and part of the whole reason for the feeling of the slightly forward and the up, certainly,
Yeah.
is because we really don't want the opposite of that.
Think about what the opposite would be. It's back and down. What is that club
No
going
fly
to do?
zone, we would
It's
call
the
that.
no-fly zone.
Yeah.
Okay, and the club is going to be prone to get stuck in the ground.
Yeah.
Well, as human being adapters, people that can change and adapt to adverse outcomes.
Yeah.
Okay, we pull our arms up.
Yeah.
And so now we might hit a good one, but the next one we might zing one over the green, hit the low heat over the green. We've all been there. We've all done that. We've all struggled
Yeah,
with it.
let's hope not on this one. So for me to put that into
That's it.
something simple,
Yeah.
I would be thinking, if I was practicing or playing, I feel a little bit ahead towards the target.
Yeah.
I feel my chest up.
Chest up.
I
love
feel a
it.
little towards the target. I feel my chest up. And we can
Yeah.
replace chest with shoulder, right? Something simple.
handle.
Hands,
Yep.
something simple. So a little bit of head motion forward, little bit of shirt buttons or chest up towards the sky. And I feel when I do that,
Better.
we're gonna work throughout today on me getting rid of that little divot there like
Less
that.
divot.
But listen, guys, in terms of quality of contact, 2 really simple things. Little bit forward towards the target so that you don't go off of it if nothing else.
Correct.
Chest, shoulder up to be able to lengthen the arc,
Yep.
right? We don't want staying down, lifting up, right, with your wedges, right? There's gonna be a reaction to the arms.
Yep.
So 2 simple keys here. Now, we're gonna talk more about wedges. We are gonna put a link in the description down below. There was this product once created, I believe it was called the Wedge Project.
Wedge project, correct.
Okay, which is Mr. Andrew Rice. I really urge you guys to check this out. Things like this will be, and there's much more in there to help you guys with your wedges. If you're interested not only in solid contact, but I would say really to take your wedge game to another level, we'll go ahead and include the link in the description down below. So, Mr. Andrew, video number 1 for wedges. Thank you very much. We have more to chat about.
Thanks.
Thanks, man. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you liked the video, do us a favor, click the like button down below. Click the notification bell. Also, please subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.